guys, what's going on? I'm Aishbanish, and in this video I'm just going to be talking to you about my new nostril piercing. So I got my nostril pierced a few days ago by Julien at Metamorphosis, and this nostril piercing is something he's been sort of telling me to get done for quite a while. Like, it's been a few months now. Basically because all my facial piercings are pretty central or they're symmetrical in some way, but then I have the right side of my nostril pierced and it just, it looks a bit odd. So he's been trying to convince me to get the left side done. Now, I was like open to the idea of this, but another nostril piercing wasn't like at the top of my to-do list. Like, there were other piercings and modifications that I wanted to get done first. And also, like, another reason I was putting it off is getting my nostril pierced scares the shit out of me. It's on my face, it's quite a sensitive area, and I've had issues with my nose for like my whole life. Like, I used to have nosebleeds when I was little, I've had it cauterized twice. I can very rarely breathe properly through it or smell anything. So yeah, my nose is like one of those areas I don't really like, being touched or anything, despite how much metal I have in it. But for some reason, septums didn't really scare me as much. They didn't seem as bad as, my nostril piercing. So yeah, I was really dreading getting my nostril pierced, and that was another reason I was putting it off. Also, like, I got my first one so long ago, I couldn't really remember, and I think that was making me dread it more. Like, I don't know why, it just seemed like other piercings would be so much easier, but my nostril, like, just seemed like it would be such a sensitive part. And I was basically being a huge baby about it. So I went into work the other day, and Julien was just like, I'm gonna pierce you today. And this was just after my demo had fallen out, so I was kind of planning to give my body a bit of a break. But I've also now been piercing a year, so I wanted to get something to mark the occasion. And I was just like, yeah, go for it, whatever. Because it was that or redoing my nipple, and I was not in the mood to redo my nipple. So the hardest part of this whole thing was marking it up, because your nose is on your face, and if it doesn't match, unlike your ears, it's going to be really obvious. Also, my initial nostril piercing is in quite an odd place and at a little bit of an odd angle. So to make the two piercings match, my second one would need to be in the same place and at the same kind of angle. In terms of marking this piercing, it would have been really helpful to have like a tiny rhinestone that I could have stuck on the dot that we were doing. Like, obviously we'd have to kind of clean it after, but it's hard to compare a dot to an existing piercing. But if I had like a tiny rhinestone, it might have been easier to see, if we're in the right place and all of that kind of stuff. Obviously, it's quite difficult to match the two places in general anyway. We went round and checked with people, about the placement, checked with like straight lines, trying to see if it matched, looking from above and all of that kind of stuff. And to be honest, I think that was like what was stressing me out most, like making sure it matches. And also, because you spent so long marking it and matching it, it actually like builds up the anticipation for the actual piercing. So by the time we got round to like getting needles out and all of that kind of stuff, I was like super scared. Like, I don't know why. I was a complete baby with this piercing. I'm glad I got it done. I do really like how it looks, but even with my conch punch, like, I wasn't this much of a baby. Like, yeah, I made noises and I was scared, but the beforehand anticipation wasn't this bad. Like, I was just like, yeah, sure, ready. I didn't really think about what I was doing, but with this, for some reason, I was just really scared. But it turns out it was kind of all for nothing, because it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Like, yeah, it hurt, it was quite pinchy, but it was nowhere near the pain I was expecting. And obviously it's over quite quickly, and when it was over, it didn't really hurt anymore. Like, I could feel that it ached a little bit, but it wasn't painful. In terms of the actual piercing, I'd say it was probably about a 4 out of 10. I think it probably could be less, but the fact I was so scared made it a bit more. I really don't like jewellery going through nose piercings. Like, even my healed nose piercing that I have on my right nostril, I don't like putting curved jewellery through it because I don't like the twingy feeling, like, when it goes through. So I always think that is the worst part, and that was definitely worse than the needle. But yeah, it's completely fine. Like, it wasn't anywhere near what I was building it up to be. But I think, because I hadn't had a nostril piercing for a while and I'd forgotten, I was just a bit like, I didn't know what to expect, so I was expecting the worst. But overall, I'm really happy with the placement and how the two piercings look together, and Julien did a great job as usual. He was very patient, like, especially when I was being such a baby. So, you know, I have to big him up for that. The worst thing is, I guess, for him is that he's probably going to have to go through it all again, because we did discuss getting 2 more nostril piercings below the 2 I have and putting like really small rings in them when they're healed. So that is probably something I will get maybe sometime next year. Like, there are other piercings that I need to focus on now, and I also want to give my body some time to rest, as I've had a lot done this year, and maybe, you know, focus a bit more on tattoos, as they've got a shorter healing time, and I just need to finish covering my body, because I don't feel like I've given tattoos enough attention. And I do want more tattoos, it's just figuring out what I want and where I want to put it. But yeah, the other 2 nostril piercings are definitely something I'm interested in, just, you know, not right now. Like, right now I feel like I've got quite a lot of metal in my nose, and with my existing issues trying to breathe through it and all of that kind of stuff, I don't really want to put more metal in there just yet. But that is all I really have to say about my new nostril piercing. I will put the footage at the end of this video. Don't forget to comment below if you do have any questions, and I will try and get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Hey, let me close my eyes.
Do you want to lay down? Because that'll be easier. It's that side.
I guess so.
Yeah. Do you want to go down there now?
I don't know why I'm nervous. It's because it's my nose. Okay. Can you let me know before you do it, yeah?
Of course. Okay. Keep breathing and out. That's it.
My eyes. Oh, fuck.
Keep breathing.
My poor contact lenses. I didn't bring my glasses.
Okay. Chippery's coming through. That's it.
Ah!
Sorry. You okay?
Yeah.
Aww. Be like a baby.
I know I am. I don't like needles.
They're perfect. They're really perfect.
Can you please pass me a tissue? As a thank you for watching, I'm giving you 10% off at wholeheartedlondon.com, so be sure to head over there and add anything you fancy to your basket, and then enter the code YouTube at the checkout to claim your 10% off.